In today's video, I will show you a quick and proven way how you can generate better local 3D AR models than ever before. This local workflow will enable you to add way more details to your 3D meshes by using the open source model Direct3D-S2 in combination with Comfyui and TripoSG. The entire workflow is completely free and you can refine the models with Comfyui on your own PC. I will guide you step by step through the whole installation and will show you in addition what settings to choose to get the best results with the new refining method. By the end of this video, you will be able to generate unlimited 3D AR models that will look better than ever before. Having said that, let's dive right into it. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Philip from Pixel Artistry. And today we are going to have a look how you can refine your 3D meshes locally in Comfyui. So basically, just to give you a brief introduction into Direct3D-S2 and what we're going to install here, it's actually, you can also read this here on the GitHub page. I will also, of course, as always, link it to you down below in the video description. And here we actually can see that we have the Comfyui Direct3D-S2 wrapper. And this wrapper was developed by Visual Bruno, who also, by the way, did the wrapper for Comfyui 2.1 in Comfyui. So big shout out to him again for doing that. And as well, Easy Mode contributed to this wrapper here. So also huge shout out to him. And they developed really incredible tool, I would say, which then, as you can see here already, it's taking, for example, Comfyui 2.0 Turbo, and you have your reference image and then it will refine that. I think here we can also see it a bit larger and you can see it then adds this like wrinkles and stuff, like this additional details kind of in the feathers here, and also overall it looks way sharper than before, where it's here a bit more blurry. So I think this is definitely really amazing and cool. And best thing is we can install this for ourselves on our own PC. I developed some installation scripts for it because actually, as you can see here, it requires quite some manual installation steps. So I try to automate this as much as possible by using the installation scripts that you will find actually in this drive folder over here. And this drive folder is also the main resource you need. I will link you this drive folder down below as well in the video description, so that you can find everything here for the installation. And I will attach you, in addition to that, also a PDF guide that you can download, so you can follow it step by step through the PDF, and everything is explained there, again, also in detail for you. Before we are starting with our installation, what is really important is that you have to be aware of the requirements to make this work. So actually we need either Windows 10 or 11 installed on our PC. Then what we need as well is a NVIDIA RTX card. So it might also work with an NVIDIA GPU, but I never tested this, so I can just say for sure that it should work on NVIDIA RTX cards. So definitely make sure that you have this. For AMD cards, I'm sorry, I have no idea if it's working or not, but so far I never used it with an AMD GPU. Don't get scared by all the requirements right now. I can assure you the installation is quite simple when everything is set up. So just stick with me through the installation and it will be really worth it once you have installed a workflow on your own PC. What we need to do first thing is that we install Cuda 12.8. And why Cuda 12.8? All the installation steps I did, like all the install scripts and so, are based on 12.8 because we need to make sure that we're working with the right Cuda version and the right PyTorch version to make the installation work in the end. So I can recommend you, first step is to go in here, and what you can do then is simply download your Cuda toolkit over here. I did that already, so I will go quickly to the to my download folder where I had this here, and actually, as you can see, I have here my Cuda 12.8 Windows.x. You can simply double click this one and then go through the whole installation. Next step is then that we are installing as well Python 3.12 on our PC. This is just to be safe. It might work also without installing it, but I can always highly recommend you to install this Python version because it's working smoothly with Hy3D as well. So I can really recommend you to install this one, also just execute it and then follow the basic installation steps. Same goes for Git, that we go here to Visual Studio Build Tools, just double click on it, and then it will open the installer file and then it will get downloaded and everything. And we just need to make sure that we have here the Visual Studio Build Tools installed. And one important thing is as well that we install one certain package, which is the desktop development with C++ package that we see over here, and then make sure that you hit here install to install then all the packages you will need. Once you have done that, make then sure to reboot your PC so that everything gets applied that we just installed, and then you can move on with the next step. Because next step is then actually to download and install our Comfyui Portable folder. As you can see, I already put it in here, so you can simply just download this zip file and then unzip it. You can place it wherever you want in your file system, it doesn't really matter. And when we double click on it, you can see that we already have some installation scripts in here that I created for you to make the installation way easier, hopefully. So you can see we have a Hy3D install script here, we have install Direct3D-S2, we have install Flash Attention, and we have also a TripoSG installation guide. And as well, this is why it's so important to download either this folder or use the Comfyui folder that we used in the last installation for Hy3D 2.0 and 2.1 is because we will need two folders. We need the libs folder and the include folder in the Python embedded, which you will get from Python 3.12. And they will be already pre-installed in the folder that you will find here. And as well, we need to make sure that we are on Python 3.12 in the Python embedded folder, because your local Python is different to the one that we're using in a portable. So it's really important that you go in here, then double click this one just to check, and it should say here Python 3.12.10. Alright, and now we are finally ready to launch our first script. So the first script we would like to install is actually the Direct3D-S2, which is also the refiner script. And basically it's very simple. Only thing you need to do is either right click and then run as administrator. You might not even need to do this, so I can also simply double click here, then run. And then as you can see is that it's now cloning the Comfyui Direct3D-S2 folder in the custom nodes, and it will do all the installation steps it needs. It will build all the wheels for you. It will install all the requirements we need, except for Flash Attention, or attenuation. I don't know how it's called, to be honest, but this we will do with the next step. So just let it run. In case there are any errors, please let me know in the comments or on our Discord server. And I can also highly recommend you to debug with ChatGPT in case there's something wrong. Most of the times it's really just a copy paste into ChatGPT or Claude AI or whatever will tell you then the solution to fix it for your own system. Alright, and once the installation is done, you will see that it's saying here, okay, all done, and then launch Comfyui with ... Just make sure that you don't close this window under any circumstances, like always, because it will auto download some files for you. For example, those ones here that you can see, the Wuxuang 98 Direct3D-S2 models. And this might take a while, like 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So just make sure to not close it, because otherwise you would need to rerun the script so that it's downloading those files for you. And you will need those files later on. Next tool that we will need to make it work is that we install Flash Attention. So what we need to do is actually here just double clicking on it. This should be quite fast. So actually you go in here, then it will download the right wheel for you. It will then place the wheel in the right folder in your Comfyui folder, and then it will just pip install this. So you basically then have this also installed in a few minutes. You could now also install Hy3D 2.0 and 2.1 again. Just make sure to then double click this script over here so that you install it, and then also those two will be then installed on your Comfyui Portable folder, one step we still need to do is that we installing here the manager here. So also make sure to double click this, that we then get the manager installed on the Comfyui folder. Once it's finished, it will also automatically close, so don't worry. Is that we will now also install TripoSG, because it's very easy to install actually. So we will just double click this one here, and I created this new script for it actually, so you don't need to do it manually anymore. And you can also double click this one, then it will clone all the models as well in the correct folder, in the diffusers folder. Just as always, make sure to not close it, and then everything will be fine. And once it's done, we can then finally launch Comfyui. So to do that is that we simply go here and launch it for the first time, and then you can simply launch it, and then a window will open. And if everything went correctly, then you can see it then over here in your log, where it should then say everything imported correctly with the custom nodes in a second, and no import failed for you. Okay, great. And once Comfyui opened, and as you can see over here, everything imported correctly, and we don't see any import failed or something like this, which is great. So once we have installed this, now we can finally open our first workflow. And I would like to first show you how to generate a model with TripoSG quickly, and then how to take this 3D model that we then just generated into the refiner. So you will find all workflows also in this folder. When you double click on here on the workflows folder, and then you will see all workflows over here. I didn't drop them in here yet, but I will do this later on, so don't worry, they will be in here. Then we go to workflows, which I just created, and then you can see you will find here the refined mesh workflow that we need. We can also have a dense generation, but we don't need this for now. And for now we will open the TripoSG workflow. So just open this one. Then you will see we have some missing nodes that we need to install. I will close this one here. Then I will go to the Comfyui manager on the top. Then I will go to install missing custom nodes, and then I will simply click this one here. Then I will hit install. Then all those nodes will be installed for you, and then you just need to restart Comfyui like this. So we will just restart. And once it's restarted, we can then refresh our browser over here, and then all nodes are installed. And now we can generate our model by simply going in here and uploading an image. And we can actually go in here. Let's choose this guy here maybe, because here we can see some nice details he has. And then we will make sure that everything is selected here. I also added here a RMBG node, because this is most of the times more reliant for the background, and then we can simply run the workflow. And once done, we can see that we have now here our first generated 3D model, I think, which is very decent for TripoSG. Of course, some details are lacking here, but we will fix it. Hopefully more detail. We can also, for example, of course here increase the step size if we want that to have a better result, but we will go with this one for now, I would say. And now next step is actually that we can now finally open our refine workflow. Okay, amazing. And once we have then opened also this workflow here, the refine mesh workflow, what we need to do is first upload our image. I did that here already. You can simply click on here or paste it inside, and then you can select the image that we need. I also added here a Hy3D 2.1 export mesh and a preview 3D, so that we see kind of the original model that we had before. So yeah, that we have a good comparison here. What we need to do now to actually import our mesh into the loader here, it's saying here Hy3D 2.1 load mesh, but you can also import TripoSG models in here, which is great. So that might be a bit confusing. And meshes that you generated with Hy3D 2.0 are also working in here. And actually to import your model in here it's quite straightforward. What you need to do is go here to Comfyui Windows Portable folder, Comfyui, then go to output and to 3D, and here inside here in your output folder you will always find your generated 3D mesh. And as you can see, it's over here. Let's rename it just to have it properly. So we would say something like creature, maybe like this. And then only thing we need to do actually to import it is right click, then copy as path. Then we go in here then we will click on it and then we will replace the path. Make sure to get rid of the exclamation marks in the end and beginning like this. Then you hit OK or enter, and then we have our creature GAB file loaded in here. I always make sure that I'm most of the times using the version 1.0 because it gives by default more details than version 1.1, at least in my test that I did. And then all we need left to do is actually run the workflow. Okay, great. And once the generation is done, I think you can instantly see the difference we have in quality and detail increase. And I think this is really great. I mean, just looking at, for example, its eyes, they are so much more defined now with the new method, with the refiner actually than before. As well with his hands, for example, we can see that we have way more detail over here, and as well with his claws over here. So everything feels just much more defined than before. And yeah, I can highly recommend to check it out yourself, to do the whole installation. And yeah, let me know if it worked for you. Of course, this is just a clay mesh generation, but you could take this one then, for example, because it will also be in your folder then actually in the output folder. So over here it's just called to refine because this is what I had here last, but actually you have it as an OBJ file. You could also generate it as a GAB file, and then, for example, you could take it into my texturing advanced workflow that I created. So I will also link you this video right here, where you can then assign this model here a texture locally for free, so that you then have both combined. But this should be it for now regarding the mesh gen. And I think it's such a great and easy way to refine your model. Once you have the installation set up, it will then also be very fast and straightforward to refine your models. As I said, most of the times I'm using here the version 1.0 or version 1.1. Also, it's working quite good with hard surface objects. I tested this, for example, here with a gun I created, and you can see here a before and after image as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if it worked for you, and as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel so I can keep doing what I'm doing. And please make sure to subscribe to the newsletter Future Frames, as well as to join our free Discord, Pixel Artistry. Having said that, see you on the next one.